Here.
Mr. Vorak.
What's up, Chuck? Not
And
much.
Mr. Robinson.
I should be here hopefully momentarily. Miss Ozier is excused. All right, can I get the acceptance of the invoices, please?
Actually, we can skip that, we won't do this until next month, or next week,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You can skip down to me if you'd like.
Oh, that's fine. We'll just go to the administrator's report. We got I see what you did, all right. All right, administrator's report, please.
All right, good afternoon. Just a few quick updates. The Bridgetown Road nuisance that everybody's been looking at, if you've been by that house, the front is completely cleaned up. They're still working a little bit on the back.
I have been looking at it, I look at it every day.
Yeah, I know, you have to drive by every day. So, once we have the final cost put together, we'll be putting a lien on that property for the cost of the cleanup, and they're aware of that. And I'll just note that Mr. Robinson arrived. So, fire contracts with the villages. We received a counter proposal from the village of Cleves. I spoke with Mayor Meir last Friday from Addison. Their village finance committee meeting was gonna be last Friday. She promised to send me something, but she didn't get around to it. So, we still don't have anything back from them. And North Bend sent us a counter offer that Tim and I are looking at right now. So, I wanna thank Trustee Volrath and our legal counsel Alex Ewing, and I worked on those proposals over the winter, over the weekend. And Alex actually left the school board retreat a little early to get our stuff done on Saturday, so we were able to get some proposals out to all three villages. So Trustee Volrath and I will be meeting with the village Cleves administrator Justin Haydig and councilperson Bolton tomorrow evening to discuss their contract. Hopefully we'll be able to get things worked out then. Jordan Road, I was gonna have an update on that, but that project is right now potentially on hold. We're gonna continue as far as we can right now, but it may hit a roadblock, and we'll see where that goes. Fire levy informational meetings, just so everyone knows. We set those meetings for April 3rd and I believe April 19th, and that doesn't look like the right date. But a Thursday and a Saturday?
That's right.
It is, okay.
I had the 26th.
I have 26.
We agreed in the last meeting.
In our other email, we have, your other email is 3rd and 19th.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we
I'm
said.
fine with the 26th, but we need to make it clear right now.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the 19th as well. That's what I have in my calendar.
You know, I have the 3rd and 19th on my calendar. We can do the 3rd and 26th.
I thought we did 3rd and 19th, so we would have time for another before election day if we chose.
If we need to.
Are you available that day, Mike?
Yeah, the only thing, so we brought up, so that's Easter weekend, and that's why it was originally proposed for the 19th. Then we realized that it was Easter, the day before Easter, between Good Friday and Easter.
Okay.
So then we said the 26th. If we were going back to the 19th, I'm okay with that. I just want everybody to be aware that that's Easter weekend, if that matters or not, I don't know.
I know a lot of people who travel that way,
But
but
that's, I don't know if we think that people will attend or not attend it with that or not, but.
We can go back to the 26th, and then I'll just make it, since there's no confusion about it, just do the 3rd and 26th. And then if we feel like we need to call another meeting, we could,
yeah.
before, election day.
So I do have a commitment, I have to change that date, but, from the Hamilton County Auditor's Office to have somebody out to one of those two meetings to, discuss the difference between TIP funds and explain how levies work, and, they'll also spend a couple minutes talking about what the Auditor's Office does, because a lot of people don't know that they do so many different things, even issuing dog license. So, I told them that we were more than glad to have them tout a little bit about what they do.
I think the third, if they can make it, would be best.
I suggested that for them, and because I'd rather have them out early and then again if we need it. So, they have a new person who's handling that for them, scheduling for Auditor Miranda, and he's been very easy to work with, so.
Good.
Later tonight, I'm, under new business, I'm asking you for approval for a new washing machine for the firehouse. I just wanted to let everybody know that it's a, commercial unit, which is required. And, that they're replacing a 19-year-old unit that was moved from the old station down on East Miami, and, they were trying to make it last, but it's to the point where it won't spin, and it would cost more to fix, if they could even buy parts for it at this age, than what a new one costs.
But it's 19 years old.
Yeah.
And so we need to put that on the record.
It's 29 years old. It came from the old station before this building was built.
Oh,
So it's 29
It's
years
29
old?
years old.
Okay.
I think we got our money's worth out of it.
I think we did too.
Yeah.
So, also, later tonight, we've talked, and this is something that we've talked about since I got here, was upgrading the AV system in here. I have a price from Clearsound to, provide 2 cameras, a controller, and a unit that'll, both the cameras will be can-filled soon. So not only can we use them for our meetings, we could use them for other events in this room as well. And, we'll be able to record direct to a USB drive, and, we can broadcast these meetings live on YouTube, and then it'll stay on our YouTube channel, for people who can't watch during the meeting. So I think that'll be a nice upgrade. I just wanted to mention that, Mark Rosenberger from Bear Becker has been doing a lot of work on, helping us get finished up down at Pat June Memorial Park. And also, we've been working on the, parking lot at West Park, and that's coming along nicely. He had an outside person do a cost estimate on the expansion at West Park, and his estimate was the expansion as it looks right now would come in at about $3,119,533. I could immediately see some fluff in that, and Mark felt the same. Mark reviewed the estimate because he's more familiar with what we're doing. He felt that the estimate should be more in the $2,763,791 range. Just in what I looked at off Mr. Frondorf's, estimate, there was an easy $250,000 in there. Yeah, I think he was just being very conservative in his estimate. So as, later on tonight, you're gonna have before you a contract for construction drawings and permits. If you decide to move forward with that at this time, then, we'll be able to hone that cost in a little better once we actually have the drawings, the permits, pick playground equipment. Because playground equipment is really, really expensive right now. So no matter who you get it from. But, if you take a look at the equipment, if you've not been down to the Pat June Memorial Park, that's gonna be a really nice playground for the kids.
100% agree.
Yeah.
It's gonna be beautiful.
And as soon as the weather's decent down there, and we've got a few rocks and things to clean up because it's subgrade, they're gonna put the artificial turf in. So, I'm hoping maybe in the next couple weeks, you guys can set a grand opening date.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We need to set that grand opening date so we get it on the calendar and get notice out.
Yeah.
So the original estimate was
3.119.
Gotcha.
That was the outside consultant's. Mark's was 2.763. So as we move forward, it'll be somewhere between those two numbers. Like I say, there's has taken some time to actually start. On the IT portion of our township, we've been in conversations with IMS and Bellator since last fall, and it's taken longer than expected, but Bellator actually had a kickoff meeting with us yesterday, and we were really surprised. They actually, they made some immediate recommendations and things, and they had somebody on site today as part of their 24/7 service. So this is included in their contract, so it's at no extra cost. But Kim will tell you that he spent a good time in just our offices. He got over to the fire department side. I don't know how far he got, but he said he would be back until he was finished getting their stuff installed. So, off to a good start with that. And that's all I have.
All right, we'll move to the public presentation, the public request to be on the agenda. Mark, do you want to address the board at all?
I have nothing. Jim pretty much explained it as where we're at right now.
Okay. All right, anything from the public, Mr. Milan?
What's the update and what's the hold on Jordan Road water main? Why all of a sudden it's on hold? We've been working on this for over a year.
We have, so, do you want to comment? Rod?
Just, right now, it's just a matter of, getting together with Eric at Cleves and also Eric Beck at the county to talk about how we're gonna get either under or on the bridge to, get across Jordan Creek. And, we've just not been able to schedule that meeting.
So you're basically saying it's on hold for a undetermined amount of money. A meeting can't be set up and a determination on how you're gonna get that water main on the other side of that creek is going to take a long time from what you're explaining.
I don't expect it to take a long time.
Well, hold sounds like a long time to me.
Well, I will say this, let me comment on this, Mr. Moreland. So, right now, our main two priorities, I don't wanna misrepresent what Jim said, not really on hold. I would say it's tentatively put on hold, and I use that because the main two things we're concentrating on right now in the township is getting the contract signed, fire and EMS with the 3 villages, because no signed contract means no service. So that's our number 1 priority, and our number 2 priority is our levy in May. But by no means, I don't think it's on hold, and I think it's a tentative thing. Right now, and we've only got 3 weeks left after this week to get those contracts signed with the villages. And then I believe we can move forward and try to get those meetings going and with Cleves and the waterworks and move forward on that. So that's our main 2 criteria right now, our main 2 issues. So we're only talking 3 weeks.
And hopefully less.
But I feel confident after we get these.
Well, I'm gonna ask you the same question next month and I hope to have an answer.
I hope to have
No,
a
that's
better
fine.
answer for you.
That's fine.
Because we've
And I
been
think
talking
we
about
should be
this, it
moving
sounds to me
forward.
like it's a money issue somewhere that we're holding this up.
No, I wouldn't say that. Not
I
at
mean,
all.
it was never mentioned that you had to have a meeting with the Cleves and all that. It was, we're gonna move forward with the Jordan water main. We've talked about the water fill station. I guess that's been on the back burner. We couldn't decide where we were gonna put that. We know we gotta move a little bit of the main from East Miami River Road under that property where the park's gonna be. And I thought we had a tentative drawing already on Jordan Road.
We do. And they're refining it, and I was hoping to have that put on the projector tonight, and it's just not quite there. And, I hope to have that to actually show everyone at the next, at the next meeting on the 19th.
So if you get a fire contract with Cleves, am I right, am I saying this wrong, in the next couple weeks?
We're still moving forward, we're just concentrating on those right now. Right after March 31st, we're gonna reach out to Cleves and the Waterworks and try to move forward on that line. That's my feelings on it, unless
I really think that we're,
Mr. Vorath feels differently.
I don't wanna speak for Tim, but we have a meeting set up with Cleves tomorrow with their administrator and the head of their finance committee chair.
So the word I'm getting, if you guys don't get something worked out with Cleves, you can forget the water line.
I
wouldn't say that.
Okay, I hope you
We
don't.
want to move forward, the township wants to move forward.
With the installation of a water main.
That's correct, on Jordan Road. 100%. We have no qualms about saying that. We want to move forward and expect to move forward with the Waterworks Cooperation and Cleves Cooperation.
And I wholeheartedly believe the Cleves Waterworks wants that to happen as well.
Yeah.
They want that line out of the middle of that creek.
Okay, that's all I got, thank you so much.
Okay. All right, anything else from the public before we move forward? All right, old business. Mr. Brett, do you wanna take over and bring up what we need to cover on old business and new business, or would you like
Yeah,
to do that?
I can do that. I pretty well gave you the Jordan Road update in my report. Like I say, I was hoping to have a new drawing to project up and show everybody, but hopefully next meeting.
So, go ahead. So we'll,
And then the West Park expansion, we have a proposal from Bear Becker that's in your packet to do the, I would like to just keep on schedule. We would have to approve the construction drawings and permitting contract portion. A total of $95,530. And the rest of it is construction, and it's not all that much more if you wanted to approve it all at once. I wasn't sure if you wanted to act on that now, if you wanted to wait, but I wanted you to know that that's the next step.
I think I would like to move forward with, because Bear Becker wants to move forward on this, and so do I. Right now is the construction drawing and permitting contract, is that correct, Mark?
Repeat that, I'm sorry, guys.
Right now, what you need to move forward is the construction drawing and permitting contract.
Yes,
That's
yes.
approved by the board if we present
Yes,
it for
not so much the
$95,530,
not the construction,
correct?
just our, to get to our, CDs and.
To where we need to be in May.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So no, I'll mention again that the park is being paid for out of TIF funds,
That's correct.
just so that everybody knows we're not dipping into the general fund, for that, because we're,
And it's totally separate from TIF fund, from the fire department.
yeah, fire funds can only be, the fire levy money can only be used for fire and EMS services. General fund money can obviously be used for anything, but, this is a 100% TIF funded project, just so everybody knows.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I advised that we not bring this topic up 2 meetings ago, then I advised that we not bring it up this past meeting, and I advised that we don't bring it up this meeting, but, particularly, I think that it's not the best, approach to do this on Wednesday at our working meeting, the 3:15 meeting, and I think that if you were insisting on bringing it up, that at the very least, it could have been at our third Wednesday on the 6 o'clock, where more, our residents could attend. All that being said, tomorrow night, we have a land use committee planning meeting and open house, where we're inviting the public to attend for an hour, and, I don't anticipate that that's going to change the land use, the 5-year land use plan whatsoever, but it at least allows the public to, view it and, understand it and ask questions, and then before we're going to adopt that, they get to see it and it's being presented. I said this previously and I'll reiterate it again. I know that that Trustee Blanton has said that the committee of 5 for the parks got a chance to weigh in, but I still think that now that we're finally getting numbers, that we owe it to our public, to the residents, to have a say in whether they are supportive of the park project or not. I personally am supportive of the project in general, but I still think the timing of this is not well thought out, and that we should not be doing it. I heard you say that the two priorities are the levy, passing the levy, and the contracts with the villages. And that's music to my ears, and that is exactly in line with what I said our priority should be in between now and the next few months, which should be public safety, roads, and township operations. And I don't know that parks fits in with that list unless you think that parks are just as important as public safety. I don't know if you do or do not. But, well, that was a question, but if you're not gonna answer, I'll continue. So, my concern is that we have this estimate of somewhere between 2.763 or 2,763,000 and 3,119,000. And I'm also concerned about how confident we are that that's where we're going to be, because essentially it makes no sense for us to spend $95,000 unless we're moving forward with the project. So essentially, we're deciding right now on whether we're moving forward with the project. Can we agree on that it doesn't make sense to do that unless we're moving forward?
No, you're making a statement.
Okay.
That's all you're doing.
All right. Well, can I then take, if you don't want to talk about that, I will say that I took it upon myself to engage with 22 individuals, and I asked whether, just generically, without any teeing anything up, just saying, do you know what TIF is? And do you understand it? Because we had a debate last meeting about that. And of the 22, 7 of them were township elected officials and or township administrators. 15 of them were residents. And I just said, do you know what TIF is? Do you understand that? And I can tell you that of the 22, the 7 township trustee or elected or administrators said that they do not believe that any of their residents, or I should say, the vast majority of their residents do not understand the difference between TIF and fire fund and general fund and all that other stuff. Of the 15 residents, I asked 2 said that they had heard of TIF, but they really didn't understand what it was, and the rest had never heard about TIF. So my final point is that we have to manage this project if we're going to go forward. And in comparison, we are wrapping up Pat and June Park, and I was supportive of Pat and June Park, and I think that that's a fantastic thing to do. However, again, as I've said before, wanting something and paying for something are 2 different things. So I've done some research in the last day that since I learned that this was going to be added to the agenda, I see that in the current amount that we are either have paid or are committed to paying is $951,000 for Pat and June Park. Or is everyone aware of that? Okay, so in November of 2023, we were moving forward, and I'm asking, what is the cost? What is this gonna cost us? Because, again, I don't vote for things unless I know what it's ultimately going to cost us. And on November 1st of 2023, Trustee Blanton said the total project should cost between $350,000 and $500,000. That was stated on the record, $350,000 to $500,000 for the total project cost. And as we sit here today, we're at $951,000. So my concern is that We don't know what's happening with Addiston. We don't have fire contracts with the villages signed. And we have a levy coming up in 2 months. And we're basically committing to moving forward with the park extension right now as it is currently planned. So with all that, again, I don't think this is the time, but if my colleagues insist that we move forward and vote, there's nothing that I can do about it.
Any comments, Mr. Moore?
I would say, we'll go back to the Pat and June Park for a minute and say, the same fear that I have here is cost continues to rise, right? So now we end up, waiting and this cost continues to go up. Kind of like what happened with the roundabout, how much, that went up. The commitment here, and I wanna understand, and maybe you can help me, with this $95,000 for construction drawings and permitting contract, that would nothing would start until May, June timeframe?
Yeah, so I had I gave you gentlemen last week the dates, and I was thinking we would award a contract for construction in mid-June. Construction would start probably end of June.
So
probably.
we would have to approve to be put out to bid in late May.
Yes, so this board, after we do the details and drawings and further refine the cost estimate after we get done with the full design, this board will resolve putting it out to bid.
Right.
And then at that time, we would award a bid. Now, there's another mechanism you can do on here. We just with the existing park, we had line items. We had line items basically, and you can pull things out. If it's an issue, do other things in it. But it's the construction costs are really out of hand. It's just what it is, and we have no control over that right now until things slow down in the economy. But it's just been, that's about all I can tell you now, Tim, on that. So.
But with the uncertainty of Addiston, the fire levy and other things, that's why I'm concerned about committing to that. And I understand that the costs are what they are right now, but they are extremely high.
It could be higher next
And
year.
others are insisting that we move
It is
forward right
high.
now when it's really high, so.
Yeah.
So I will say this, fire levy that we have on is very important, and it has no concern over our TIF fund. And whether people, if you're saying our residents don't understand it, then we can put that in our notice because we're gonna send out notice to the public, to residents of Mountain Township before the levy comes up anyway. So it has no bearing whatsoever on our fire levy passing or not passing, nor the 3 contracts with the villages at the zone. We just didn't start this a year ago or 2 years ago. We've been in the process of this for at least 4 to 5 years, if I recollect correctly. So we purchased 2 lots. I know that's been 5 or 6 years ago. Then we were in negotiations for at least 2 years with Baxter. We finally got that. The board then was Jack Reniger, Paul Beck, and myself. We all had a vision to expand Money Township West Park, especially when we got it completed and it was utilized by our residents so much. Not only our residents, Cleves residents, Addison, North Bend, our whole area of our township. And we made a commitment to move forward on this then, and now the board has changed now, and the board has to approve it now, and I understand that. But this is not something that we just started on in the last year or 2. This is something that's been in the works for 5 to 6 years at the minimum, and it might be more than that, I'm not sure. So I would like to make a commitment to moving forward with the $95,000 for the construction drawing and permitting contract for Darrell Becker. It's $95,530, and I will make that a motion.
Okay, I will second.
Okay, Mr. Volrath?
Yes?
Mr. Blaney?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
And I will vote no, with the caveat that, again, I am supportive of the expansion of West Park as well, and I think that we should keep our commitment but I think that now is not the time to do it. So it would be a different story if we were talking about this, when we have clarity on some of those other things.
All right, new business, Mr. Brad?
All right, so everything we have here is, falls under our, category of roads and safety things. First item we have is the Bobcat that the maintenance department has been working with is in horrible shape. I got to use it to unload some material on a holiday up here, and I can't believe that we're even asking them to use it. It's in the appropriation to be replaced this year. The cost on that unit is $65,360.89. All our attachments fit the new Bobcat, so we don't have to buy anything new to go with it. So, my recommendation is that we approve that and get that ordered for the maintenance
All
department.
right, any discussion? Mr. Borath?
No.
All right, I'll make a motion that we move forward with the replacement of the Bobcat. It's in the budget to be replaced at $65,360.89.
I will second.
Mr. Borath?
Yes.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
And Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
So I have the next unit's, age incorrect. We're asking for approval to purchase a Machine X washer, the commercial unit for the fire department. I had put down that the unit that we have now is 19 years old. The chief just told us it's 29 years old and came from the old building that was here. We certainly have got our money's worth out of that unit. It's too old to buy parts for, it's too costly to replace. New unit is $15,643.16, and my recommendation is that we move forward with that purchase.
All right, any discussion? Mr. Borath?
No, I will, make a motion to move forward with Machine X, washer 15,643.16.
I will second.
Mr. Borath?
Yes.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Next up, I mentioned this in my report. This is something that we've been wanting to do since before I got here. An upgrade to the AV units in this room. This would be cameras, a video controller, a small mixer for this room. 2 cameras that would be mounted in the rear and probably the side in case we wanted to do something sideways. This would be something that you could set so that we were just had a standard picture or a view of the room, or they're both pan tilt zoom. So if we had a presentation going on, we could zoom into it. You can also, instead of trying to zoom into the projector, you could also run the whatever's being shown directly through the mixer. Cost on that is $9,648.25. We had a cost of just for 2 cameras last year at about $7,800, so we're getting a lot more bang for our buck with this system. And my recommendation is that we do that. This will also allow us to, as I mentioned, broadcast direct to YouTube live, and then we're setting up a new YouTube channel to keep our videos on, and we'll have those connect to our minutes page, so if somebody wants to go look at the minutes and wants to see the meeting, they'll be able to do that. So it'll be an upgrade all the way around to the website and to the meeting room.
Are these, I guess, movable type cameras? Can we move them from this room if we have a public meeting over there? Can we move these things?
No, they're mounted. And I do have a cost for that over there. I just didn't think we'd wanna look at that expense right now. They could install those over there, same type system, but they'd have a lot more cabling to pull, and I just thought that we should wait on that. But if you'd like, I can send you that.
Yep, so Jim and I had a lot of conversation about that. So we have actually another proposal, a whole different proposal for that room, and I think that this board should discuss what all we want as far as functionality in that room, because we do have different events and things, and I think we could better utilize that to stay consistent with what we've been saying and what I have been saying before for the levy. Jim and I had talked, and I think that this is more operational and just making sure that we can deliver the video to our residents on the website, which obviously has been a priority of mine and that we've been talking about for a long, long time. So, but I think this board should welcome, or should definitely have that discussion going forward.
All right. So
I'm going to ask them if they have something that we could, if we don't have, we have a big enough crowd, if we have a small crowd like we had for most of the ambassadors meetings, they could easily fit in here and we could use the new
That's what I
system.
mean, and that's what we're gonna have to look at. We have 99% of our meetings in here, and we want that expense to spend in that big room, which will be multiple cameras, but I'm willing to talk about it and look at it in the future.
So, yeah, that's just, we weren't ready for that to take tonight. So, and believe me, nothing would make me happier than to have so many people here for the fire levy meetings that we have to hold it in those rooms.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing else, I'll make a motion that we approve the $9,648.25 for clear sound design.
All right, I will second.
Mr. Borat?
Yes.
Mr. Lynn?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right, on to some good news. We have 3 part-time firefighters that have made it through the process that the chief is recommending for hiring. Jackson McGowan, Christopher Reeves, and Tanner, help me with the last name, chief.
Sabula? Okay.
Obviously, these are part-time positions, so they're not anything that's gonna raise our cost, but just gives us more people to fill in empty shifts.
Okay.
All right, I will make a motion, to approve part-time firefighter Jackson McGowan, Christopher Reeves, and Tanner Sabula.
I see 2 names that on there that are the same. There's nothing that's,
There's no relation.
One's
to
A
the
and
McGowan.
one's E.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
there wasn't any
Gotcha.
concerns. Okay. So, did you make a
Yeah, I
motion?
made that motion, yeah.
I'll second.
And Mr. Borat?
Yes.
Mr. Lynn?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
So as you know, we normally try to send 2 to 3 of our firefighters through medic school every year. And the chief is recommending Ashley Beck and Mike McGowan, to be the 2 that we send through medic school this year.
All right, well, I will make a motion for the approval for the medic school for the 2 firefighters, Ashley Beck and Mike McGowan.
Second.
Mr. Borat?
Yes.
Mr. Lynn?
Yes.
And Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
And that's all I have under, new business. I am, I did public comment earlier, I am suggesting that, we have a couple of items that, fall under pending or imminent court action, and, our attorney is available, for a phone call, and I am suggesting we do an executive session for that.
All right, I'll read it into the record. To the conference with public bodies attorney concerning pending or imminent court action by division G3 of section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Court action is pending if the suit has been commenced. Court action is imminent or if it is on the point of the happening or impending. So I will make a motion that we go into executive session on Mr. Brett's recommendation.
I will second.
And Mr. Borat?
Yes.
Mr. Bland?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?